Good morning. Getting on with our club interviews for our YouTube channel. I'm here today with Peter and Diane, the leadership team from the Garden Club, and they're going to answer some questions for us today. What's the club's main mission and purpose?
Um, I think our main mission is to help people become comfortable with gardening in the desert. Many people have come from all over the country. They're transplants here, and they see people's landscapes and gardens, and they wonder, it's like, well, how do I do that on mine because I have no experience? We try to make it comfortable, easy, and create a fun environment where people can actually learn how to garden and see their gardens and the landscapes thrive.
Wonderful. Just curious, how many members are there in your garden club?
Well, let's see. We've got like 115 people on our email list, but active, I would say, 50 to 60. So
Wonderful.
it's a really active group.
When did you both join?
Gosh, I came about 3 years ago, and when Ellie was president, and was so entranced by it. I think I made every single meeting except for maybe one or two, and so it's been just a ton of fun.
And I came also 3 years ago, and I was inspired by Ellie also. And I wanted to learn about desert plantings. I think my husband and I made some mistakes when we first selected our garden selections. And over time, the whole concept is to learn more about this environment.
Wonderful. So let's move on and talk to gardening in Peoria, Arizona. So the obvious question is, what is some of the biggest challenges of gardening in our community? Is it the soil? Is it the heat? Is it water conservation?
Yeah, all of the above. Soil is probably the biggest concern because it's year round, and your property probably doesn't have great soil in it unless you brought a lot of soil, a lot of topsoil, a lot of really good soil in. Uh, and the soil acts as a way for plants to thrive and grow, and actually anchor them. And so if you're planting in our clay, it becomes really hard for the plants to thrive because water has a hard time penetrating it. Oxygen doesn't get in very well. The nutrients don't transmit. So the plants just kind of go like, "Ugh." and so that's a challenge. In the summer, the heat, and it's not so much just the daytime heat. It's actually the fact that we don't cool down as much at night now. The ambient temperature outside. And so overnight, it's something where our plants need that temperature to actually cool down, into the 70s if possible, at least below 90.
To allow the moisture to come in to the plants.
Right, because the plant literally, this gets technical, but the plant literally breathes. And so at night, it perspires. It's called transpiration, but it perspires. It lets off its fluids. It lets off, it breathes, it lets out oxygen. And that whole process allows it to draw things, minerals from the earth. It sucks up water through its system. But when it stays hot outside, it doesn't do that. And so plants actually tend to choke themselves. They actually end up going into self-preservation mode and they die.
And we bring in speakers that are knowledgeable, some master gardeners that help explain how to work with this landscape.
Wow, that's really neat. So yeah, I guess you can't really grow plants in clay. That makes it a little hard.
It's really challenging. It's really challenging, but there are ways of doing it. And you can still tend to and care for plants and have them thrive. It's just a matter of learning it. And that's what we do. I mean, there isn't anybody really, even the experts who are really smart in our group, they don't know everything, and they come and they listen and ask questions just like the rest of us. So it's a low-key welcoming environment where, we're not afraid to get our hands dirty and to have fun with it.
And what we say is, you come and learn with us.
Yeah.
And we try to have in our monthly meetings, speakers that are experts in their field to come and help us learn how to plant.
Oh, great. So what have you found that are the best plants and flowers that really thrive out here? I know people try to grow all kinds of stuff back from the Midwest or the East Coast or the Northwest, and obviously that's not going to work here. What do you think is the best stuff to plant in an Arizona garden here?
Gosh, plants that do extremely well, uh, bougainvillea do extremely well, lantana do extremely well. Interestingly, with enough water, palms do extremely well. Um, you can grow roses here. They can do exceptionally well if you plant them in the right spot. Because and a lot of times having something thrive is the right plant in the right place.
Location.
Yeah, exactly. Location, location, location.
Right.
Um,
We say that all the time with the community landscaping too. Right plant, wrong location, or
yeah, exactly.
it's very simple.
So I mean, it's there. There isn't one best plant, um, but there are things that that over decades and decades of study and just and experiment and use find that they thrive here, and others just you're not going to find a rhododendron bush in the desert. And so I mean that's a great example. It's like, yeah, don't bring the Northwest and the Northeast and expect all of that to work here.
It is trial and error. And we say that it's okay to have a plant die, not that you want it to, but it's a trial to see what works best.
Perfect. So what are some common gardening mistakes that you see people make or that you hear about at the club?
Um, Too little water too often. Uh, People let their landscapers, not that all landscapers are bad because they're not, but some landscapers, they go to the automated irrigation system and they set it for 10 minutes twice a day. And 10 minutes at twice a day is tantamount to spitting on the plant. Not very couth, but not effective. And so you have to know how much water to give it. And it's better to overwater a little bit than to underwater at all. So I think underwatering or watering just on too little and too infrequently and too frequently is the problem that I find most often.
But we've also gone to gardens that are xeriscape gardens. So we're trying to also learn about conservation, water conservation, and that is discussed quite often in our meetings. How to select plants that use less water.
Similar to our botanical garden that's right behind us over here at the Kiva Club. It's a very neat way to see desert plants that don't need a lot of water but still can look beautiful.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, you can do cactus and succulents that are flowering plants. They have color and they need very little water once established, and it doesn't take a lot of water for them to get established.
Perfect. So what is your favorite plant or vegetable to grow or flower to grow? Come on, Peter, what is it? Oh, I'll let you go first.
It's funny. I have great success with torch bougainvillea. I was just going to say that. They are so easy. And it's really hard to kill a bougainvillea. And the torch bougainvillea is different than the big bush because you have these spires that come out and they have great blooms at the end of them, offer great color and great green. They're year round. And if it gets cold, they get crispy, they turn brown for a little bit. And the minute the weather turns nice, they green up and start flowering again.
And it's a great punch of color. Actually, that is also
Be still your answer.
that's okay. But I also would add the desert birds of paradise. That is prolific in this climate.
There's one right behind us.
And you cut them down to nothing, and it's scary. I was very skeptical when I first did that, and I'm amazed at how large they get and how colorful. And they really do bloom for quite some time.
And the thing about the bird of paradise is it's perfect as a pollinator. You will attract hordes of bees, which is good, and hummingbirds, as well as other types of pollinators, which are essential to our ecosystem and environment. So, I mean, it's it's like the catch-all of every great thing about a plant.
Well, that's good. Yeah, my favorite is the emu bush. I love those, and they only bloom really in February. They call them the Valentine bush too, but they're so pretty. And I love the Tacoma stands is another one of my favorite now, and they've got the Sparky hybrid. And it's got the ASU colors. I've got several of them in my yard, and they are so cool.
Yep.
They are so cool.
We have to tell people from ASU that's pushing up.
I'm not promoting ASU. I just think they're really pretty. So what's the future event that the club has going on that you're excited about? I know you have some things coming up, so why don't you promote them?
Gosh, we've got several things. So on October 11th, we're going to be attending the Trilogy Club Expo, where we'll be in the Tiwa Ballroom, and we'll be giving out little things about water conservation and information about the club itself. So everybody should come to see us there. They can learn how to join the club. And spoiler alert, we are a free club. There's no membership dues. So come on down.
Hear that, everybody? It's free to join.
And then
And free to stay. And
then in our October meeting, we're going on a tour of the farm at South Mountain. So it's always nice to break up our meetings from having an indoor speaker and then going out and see what gardens look like or whatever. But we also are in the spring, we do garden tours within the community, which is always exciting. People love to see what everybody else is doing.
Well, that sounds great. So I know you mentioned the open house, but how can people get involved with the club today?
they can email me or call me, and I can give them the schedule of our meetings. We meet every third Wednesday every month, except December, June, and July and August. So it's the summer months and Christmas basically is when we don't meet. But otherwise,
We take a hiatus.
it's every month, and it's really just a matter of coming down to the meeting, and participation is as easy as either saying I'd like to do something or raising your hand. We don't stop anybody from joining us. As a matter of fact, we encourage more participation and more ideas because we find that we get better ideas the more people participate.
And interestingly enough, I mean, our membership tend to share information. I mean, somebody will raise their hand and have a question about a situation in their garden that is failing, and how do they attend to it? And people have the answers, or they have the suggestion.
Or experience. I mean, and that's the big thing. We're coming together as people with different experiences, all here to help each other.
And as I said, we come to learn together.
Well, wonderful. I will put the contact information in the description for the video so you can contact Peter if you are looking to join or come to a meeting. And thank you so much for taking the time today to do this. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for having us.